Hello, it's Marek. Welcome to MDrives and welcome to another video and welcome to this nice and spacious BMW X3. And this is a special one because it's the one with B58 delivering almost 400 horsepower. So let's go out there and test it on some twisty roads. So my first impression, very comfortable. You sit quite high as this is an SUV. The seats don't go really low, so even in the lowest position I'm in now, it feels like you're sitting quite high. However, the seats keeping me really well in. I feel like I'm not going to be moving around in these seats, so that's definitely a good thing. Inside, it's a typical BMW when it comes to the new screens. Well, they're not new anymore, they have been in so many cars and I got used to them by now. And to be honest, you know, the graphics, they are okay, absolutely fine, got used to them. What I'm not so sure about is this very chunky steering wheel. It feels so thick, I'm really unsure about it. What I do like, however, is the paddles behind it because they are really long. So these are the new type of paddles which were present in the cars in the last year or two, and they really do add to the experience. They are much larger than the old ones. You can actually see them from behind the steering wheel, and yeah, they look good and they feel good to press too. The steering wheel itself, as I said, to me, it's too chunky. It feels really chunky. However, despite having some haptic buttons on it, you can't really press them coincidentally because they are quite far in and they are separated from the rim with like a plastic trim. So that is good. So in comfort, as I'm in now, the car feels really nice. You hear a nice purr in the background, which probably actually is the real B58 sound because it sounds like it. But apart from that, it drives really nice. It feels firm on the road, so it's not the plushest car for sure, but I think it might suit its character because this is the 50M version, so it meant to be more sporty, and to be honest, it feels like it. And what I actually realized by now is that you don't feel the speed in this car. It's because you're sitting so high, you don't feel like you're driving that fast. You feel like you're driving probably 10-15 miles per hour less. But overall, I love the position, I really like the seats, and despite the high sitting position, I'm feeling like it's a sporty car, not a soft SUV. The next corner will show me how the car really handles its weight, which is 2050 kilograms. And over the crest in a corner, and oh yes, the tires definitely kept it in line. It's just a magic how these days manufacturers manage to hide the weight of cars with the right suspension and tires. It definitely does that pretty well. You can actually take corners with these cars at reasonably fast speed and the car will just follow. Yes, this might be misleading and at some point you might run out of grip, but I don't think many people will. And in just a normal driving situation on this bumpy road, it still manages, despite of this bit firmer suspension, take out all of the bigger imperfections of the road. Sound-wise, really well insulated. The cabin feels very spacious. Now, let's move on to a bit more dynamic driving. I'm gonna go to mode and I'm gonna go to sport, and let's go. It does accelerate quite well for such a big car. Unfortunately, there is certain weight this car needs to carry with it, and that slows it down, but this is an SUV, and for SUV, believe me, this will be quite thrilling for many drivers. When you switch into sport, you get additional graphic at the front of yourself on the HUD, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it's that useful, but I do have one complaint so far, and it is actually in relation to that HUD. So the head display, it's too low. So I dropped my seat right to the bottom, and as I said, it's not that low, but still I'm actually not seeing a bottom of the HUD. Lots of fake noise, but this B58 with a mild hybrid really manages to push this car forward quite well, considering what this car is. And even on these bumpy corners, the car manages to stay in line, and it's quite engaging. And yeah, again, tight corner, and there's just plenty of grip, and B58 kicks in and shouts, screams. Obviously a lot of it is fake, but it actually feels quite organic, which is nice. And for this type of car, I mean, it is an SUV and it doesn't feel like it. The corners does not affect this car. You can actually drive it in a dynamic way on twisty road like this, and it doesn't upset it at all, which is just incredible. It's a similar experience to what I had in an X5 before. These cars these days, they are set up so well that yeah, even when you throw it into this corner over the crest, it's just not affected at all. So I would say 95% of drivers, if not more, will feel absolutely amazing in this car. They will feel like they're in something much more sporty than it really is. And as we know, B58 is a powerhouse machine which also offers reasonable economy. You can actually drive these cars with this engine in a normal manner, and they will deliver plenty of MPGs. When it comes to the interior itself, the car is very spacious. I like the materials, they are quite unusual. So all of that, it's some kind of material which I'm not sure what it's made of, but actually it looks quite good. You do get a bit of scratchy plastics at the bottom, but that's just at the bottom. The rest of it feels reasonably nice. You do have quite nice accents here and there. I'm not so sure about this area here in the middle with the cup holders and a big M in the middle. That might not be to my taste. That's not something I would want to have, suggesting that this is a real M car, but it's the space you get in a cabin which I guess it's important, and really it feels spacious. I think you could easily fit in a big family in here, and everyone would be very happy inside of this car, and I would be happy to take it to Italy or Alps and leave my family behind and just have a blast on some passes. I think this car would still deliver reasonable amount of smile on face of majority of drivers. Yes, of course, you can't push it past certain limit, but come on guys, this is SUV, it's not a sport car, and really it does feel very often as a bit of sport car as well. Once again, I'm gonna try to throw this car into the couple of corners, see how it behaves, and yes, absolutely no struggle, and that B58 really pulls. It is great that BMW offers this kind of drivability and fun in this SUV package, because there's so many people who do prefer to sit a bit higher, and I'm glad to report that this sitting position doesn't actually compromise this car in a way. Oh my god, honestly, I'm so surprised how this car behaves. Really good compromise. So let's talk about likes. Definitely drivability of this car. I absolutely love how it drives, and I would be happy to have this thing as my daily. Sounds good, although not entirely organic, but what does sounds organic these days? Screens absolutely fine. Space, I think, very nice. I really like the pan roof. What I don't like is, as I said, there's a couple of plastics here and there which kind of spoils the overall feel of the cabin, and what I don't like is that M bit here in the middle. There is that issue if you like to sit low, that you might not be able to see the bottom of the head-up display. And I think the last thing which I kind of don't like is the price of this car. Unfortunately, as spec, this car, it's about £77,000, and I think that is quite a lot. I know cars these days cost a lot, and this is a more special version of the X3. But yes, 77 grand is quite a big amount to stomach, and for that amount I would expect just slightly more in terms of some materials in the cabin. Other than that, I think it's just a fantastic proposition for people who prefer SUVs but still want to have a bit of fun. Okay, and the last thing, let's see how this car behaves in a high-speed situation. So we've got our Millbrook Ring ahead of us, so let's push it and see how it accelerates and how it maintains high speed. And that's 100 miles per hour. The car feels super stable and super comfortable at this speed. Honestly, this engine, it's such a peach. They used it in so many cars, and I'm not surprised because it just pushes this car so well. So I think as a car, this is a fantastic proposition for someone who likes SUVs but wants to have some fun too. If you have a one car garage only and you want to have some fun in your car, but your missus and your kids prefer to be in SUV, well, this is your getaway ticket. I think this car can definitely deliver some smiles on your face. So I hope you enjoyed this quick experience video. I definitely did enjoy the drive. Please make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you shortly in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Do widzenia.